Bruce and Sandy. Talking about Cosmos and Globus today, affordable adventures with a tour in style for everyone. And I'm delighted to be coming together with Baldwins to talk a little bit more about it. Cosmos got a really wide range of tours, and Jenny would like to think that there'll be something in there for that you'll find and like today. So without further ado, we'll get going. So if you don't know who Cosmos are, we are part of what's known as the Globus family of brands. They're an independent company formed in 1928, so over 19 years ago, been around for a long time. They remain family owned and run, independent, so no kind of like shareholders to answer to or anything like that. We operate over 500 tours worldwide, with more tours to North America and Europe than any other operator. We've got offices in Canada, New Zealand, America, Australia, basically to show that we've got the big pulling power in order to get some of the best prices and in the right destinations and things like that. But also because of that, being family owned and run, we are genuinely small enough to care to make sure that everyone has the best holiday possible, really. So to move on, I've just put in some of our old brochures. Goes from 1962 all the way up to 2020. So Cosmos has been a fixture in the UK travel industry since the 60s. I've put the brochures in because we're often, you bring it up in a conversation. We're quite fondly remembered that, normally a customer may well have been on holiday with us before when we used to do package holidays as well. And only last week I did a presentation and an agent that was on there with me commented that she had to learn the 1982 brochure cover to cover as a 17-year-old apprentice, which brought back some fond and not so fond memories. But the reason I say that is just because it shows how long we've been around and that we really are kind of a fondly remembered brand in that respect. Now I just want to show you a short video. Now it's one that we released 12 months ago when the start of the pandemic hit, and I never would have thought I'd still be using it 12 months later. But it's basically just to show that we're ready for when customers want to come back, but only when they're ready and they're safe to get out there and travel again. So it's just a little one of those.
Do you see it? We can't see the sights that we savored yesterday. The quiet cliff tops, the laughter-filled squares, the wide-open landscapes, the hidden, narrow valleys. But look again. What we can see is something bigger. Do you see it? It's the sacrifice, the kindness, the compassion, the solidarity. For today, we are on a different kind of journey, apart, yet together, inching towards a tomorrow even better than yesterday. Relegated to the slow lane, we can feel, focus, and find meaning like we never have before. We can care, we can protect, and we can still dream. Though it feels like we have been grounded, our minds can still wander anywhere they please. To the vineyards and villages, the ruins and rainforests, and the landmarks and legendary places that will welcome us again. Because we are travelers, and separated, we are united. Confined, we are connected. And together, we will rise, and the world will shine. We can see it.
So just a nice little inspiring video there, as I said, to show that, when people are ready to come back to travel, a lot of people have been reflecting on a lot of things over the last 12 months. And as soon as I said to Bruce at the start of the conversation there, like, how's it all going? He's like, ready to travel. And I'm like, yeah, we are too. So it's just a video to kind of highlight that, really. So I guess why choose an escorted tour over any others? I'm not sure as to whether you guys have been on one before, but there's so many reasons why you should choose an escorted tour as the next holiday. I mean, touring's hassle-free. We set the itineraries, arrange and book the flights, hotels, ground transportation, excursions, entrance to the attractions, takes care of all of that planning for you. It's all done in that respect. There's no driving involved. We plan and arrange all the transportation. So throughout the whole trip, there's no need to worry, really. Just sit back, relax and enjoy, because the journey from one destination to another is also still part of it, because you're always going past through some lovely places as well. We use new and modern coaches, with Wi-Fi available on board in North America and Europe. All of the tours are run by our very experienced tour directors with an average of 23 years experience in the industry, certified experts in that region. So, you're in safe hands. They also speak on average up to 4 languages as well. They will have traveled extensively throughout the region and they know it, back to front. And also, they're freelance, the tour directors. So they don't have to come back to us each year, but they do because, they like how we work and they've got the experience of working with us. So it means that, if anything was to come up or go wrong, you're in very safe hands in that respect as well. And, that leads me on nicely really to our assurance and peace of mind, because just as important at the moment we're finding that when customers call and speak to us, they're interested in the tours, obviously, but they're just as interested in what we're doing in terms of assurance and trying to keep them safe on tour. And we're certainly finding that. So our 6-point plan that we put together recognises it and highlights exactly what we're doing. It's everything from regular temperature checks, the fact that the customers must either have both vaccinations to travel with us or a negative test within 72 hours of departure. We've got enhanced cleaning protocols. We sanitize in luggage. Oh, keeps going past too many. Sorry, guys. We're sanitizing luggage throughout the trip, offering reduced group sizes as well, which I'll talk a little bit about in a moment. But also, we've upgraded, for example, our wireless listening devices. We've even taken it down to that level. So, for example, when you're in a city and you're around the tour director and everyone's very much huddled around them, you'll find, there may be people after 12 months of lockdown not particularly comfortable with that, and they might just want to go and stand off to a place where they feel a little bit more distance and a bit more less crowded. Our new state-of-the-art wireless listening devices will allow that. So it's just even down to the little things like that that is what we're taking into consideration for our customers. So let's get into things and highlight why we at Cosmos and Globus believe we're different. Well, we know everyone's an individual and they're looking for their own features that's going to make their tour special. So some are perhaps looking to see the highlights, others perhaps looking to go a little bit more off the beaten track. And what we've got is 4 different touring concepts within our portfolio. That means we've got something to satisfy every type of tourer that's out there. We've got Cosmos. This is our affordable touring brand. Basically enables the customers to see all the must-see sites without breaking the budget. This does make up a huge number of our tours that are available. And very much for those that are looking to kind of get back out there and see those main sites. Globus is our first class touring offering. It's got premium hotels, 4 and 5 star, never any less than that. More inclusions, more meals included as well. And it's for the tourer that likes to travel more in style really and delve a little bit deeper into the destination with those more inclusions. We also have Escapes. Now Escapes, it's very easy to remember. It's the same as Globus in terms of it has lots, it's 4 and 5 star hotels, lots of inclusions, but they go in the off season. So it's at a far more reduced price. So if you're a customer that's looking to travel in style, but is also still very price conscious, then Escapes by Globus may well be the choice for you. And we've also got our newest innovation, which is Choice Touring by Globus. Now, and this is essentially gives you the opportunity to select from a range of tours on specific dates. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but for example, you'll go to Edinburgh on a tour and you'll have a choice of 3 different excursions to do on that day. Whereas normally on an escorted tour, it's very much you get what you're given, really. So it's a new innovation. No one's really got that, so it's very unique in travel. But I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. So in terms of breadth of product, as I said, over 500 holidays to 76 worldwide destinations. No one does more holidays to North America, Europe, and Canada in the UK than us. And here's just a snapshot of what we do with the USA, the Canadian Rockies, Italy, African Safari, Australia, New Zealand. We've even got a new range of affordable river cruises as well, which are very popular at the moment. And also some Western USA that I'm going to talk a little bit more about later on. And also some of those more bucket list tours, like to India, for example. I know perhaps not right now, but in time. So it's a problem when you have to keep updating these presentations. You never know what destination is going to be ready to go. So what do you get from a Cosmos tour? Well, as I said, Cosmos is our affordable touring brand, putting together fantastic itineraries, very much for the budget conscious traveler. takes you to all the must-see sites. So you can, when you say, you know, you've gone there and you definitely can say you've been there and done it after a Cosmos tour. Those experienced tour directors, and say they come back year after year. And also with Cosmos, we like to think we've got a nice blend of excursions and free time. I think one of the biggest criticisms labelled at escorted touring is that you have to go from one destination, then the next and the next, and perhaps you don't get that opportunity to explore on your own. As well, because sometimes, you know, you go to a destination, like for example, we'll go to the Banff National Park on a Canadian Rockies tour, and we'll have the first day we'll have an orientation tour, and the second day there will be time at leisure to kind of explore, and we like to think that we've got that covered and created tours that will incorporate that, really. And just to elaborate a little bit more on our Globus tours, as I said, perhaps you're a little bit more of a discerning traveller, you like everything kind of more done for you. The 4 and 5 stars, the 4 and 5 star hotels, they're right in the heart of the destination as well. As I said, more inclusions and meals, and also what's called local favourites. Now, if you go on, for example, a South African safari, then you're going to go to see the wildlife, but it's a nice little accent to the day that you'll have champagne, a champagne reception at sunset or something like that. Or, you know, we go to the Taj Mahal, but we go there at sunrise, for example, so before all the crowds go there. Or like whale watching in Iceland. Basically just little things that get you far more into the destination, that you can, you know, look back on and say, you know, that when I was there, oh, we did that. And it's very much just for, you know, extra kind of delving further into the destination, really. As you can see there, yeah, the Taj Mahal as well. And one such example, I thought I'd take a tour from the green list. I know there's not many, but Iceland Adventure is one. And this is a real favourite of ours, and it's one of our Globus tours. I wanted to show you an example of them, and shows you the huge number of excursions included. Everything that's included there's even more than that. I mean, you've got a whale watching cruise, visit Giza in the hot springs, photograph the waterfall of the gods. But what I like as well is you can get accustomed to like the inner workings of Iceland as well. Like there's a trip to a geothermal power station. You take a stroll through the Rift Valley that marks the separation between the Europe and the North American tectonic plates. Just things like that, which are, you know, I particularly find, you know, keeps going past, particularly I find very interesting. And I think that, you know, customers would too. And considering it's, you know, 7 breakfasts, 7 dinners, flights and transfers for 2,899, and there's even more excursions than what's included there, does represent some good value. And that's our Globus, first class touring. Now, I mentioned earlier about having smaller groups, and in 2021 and now beyond, we've basically done a big expansion of our small group departures. So every departure in South America, Asia and Africa, or our exotics as they're called, will average just 20 to 24 guests. But we haven't stopped there, because also for, I'd say 95% of all of our departures through North America and Europe as well, we're also offering small group departures on those. Now, obviously some customers will be happy to go in the larger groups. We normally operate between 40 and 48 people, but I'd link back to that potential anxiety about having been locked down for a year, and that potential, you know, to maybe not want to be in these larger groups and things like that. So if you're a customer that's perhaps looking to travel in smaller groups, we've got that covered as well. So, you know, they're about 10% in terms of cost, they're 10% extra. So, you know, it's very much coming back to that thing with Cosmos and Globus is choice. If you're a customer that does want to go with like smaller numbers, we've got that covered as well. And the next one, you're just going to have to indulge me, because this is my favorite of all of our small group tours, and it's on safari in Kenya and Tanzania. This is just one I made a short video on and that I like to show. So it might be a bit loud, so just heads up. I do love that one. Just to say 11 days, 11 game drives. There's not many out there that do that many, really. 10 breakfasts, 9 lunches, 9 dinners. I think I've put that in there really just because Cosmos, you know, sometimes if you're African tour, people may think to go to the African specialist, but we've got that covered as well. We generally like to think that we're specialists in most destinations, to be honest. Why I've got that so many times. So I guess with Cosmos, what I'm trying to basically say is that you can see the wonders of the world with Machu Picchu, Great Wall of China, Colosseum in Rome, and all of those kind of things. But also we've got that breadth of product that you can perhaps fulfill an ambition or fulfill a niche on some of our special departures, like the Calgary Stampede or the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. I mean, I know not everyone wants to go to the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, but what I'm just trying to get across, I guess, is that just how much breadth of product we have, and that if you're interested in something that may be a little bit more off the beaten track, chances are we've got it as well. Just in the bottom right-hand corner there, we've got Oberammergau, which is the passion play in Germany that happens once every 10 years and has been going since like the 1600s. We've been sending people to that for 40 to 50 years, so we've even got that covered as well. And if you are looking at faith-based tours, we've got spiritual highlights of Italy, pilgrimages to Lourdes, all of those kind of things. So we really are there's no one with more choice than us, really. And I guess just trying to show as many examples of how that's the case, really. Now, I know most of the, as I said to Bruce, when he started looking to get away, with all the up and down about green and amber and everything like that, sometimes, UK might just be what you're looking for at the moment. And I've seen what the prices are for lodges in Cornwall. I mean, I'm from Cornwall and I know what the prices of the lodges are down there at the moment, and it's high. And I just want to quickly say that we also do UK touring as well. We've got over 30 tours, 30 UK tours available on our website, including Jersey, Scottish Highlands, and all of our Ireland and everything as well. Just to show you a quick example, we made a new set of tours called Stay and Explore. Now, because I think, again, I do kind of circle back to the anxiety that people might have about going from one place to the next in 2021. And so what we did was we made 3 tours, all based around one hotel, and you do day excursions from that one hotel each day. They're an average of just 24 guests per tour, so nice small numbers as well. They're always 5-night stays, and they're very competitive, starting at just $499 for the 5 nights. And also some no solo supplements on selected dates on these as well. Now, 2 that I'd like to highlight is just our Jersey Stay and Explore tour. With 5-night stay with flights included from Heathrow for just $895, you'll have 5 breakfasts and 1 dinner, and the tours that are included, a trip to the Jersey War Tunnels, go out to the Lamari Wine Estate and enjoy afternoon tea, followed by a guiding tour and wine tasting, and also a coastline cruise to experience the breathtaking scenery all around, and a day at leisure to explore St Helier and the beaches of Jersey as well. Now, if I tell you that it will probably cost about £700, £800 just for that hotel, it's the Palme d'Or Hotel. You can go on booking.com and have a look for yourself. And that's just for the hotel, not including any flights or any of the excursions or meals or anything that's included. So, it is representing some fantastic value in that respect. So we've got that one, but also, and this is our best-selling UK tour by a long way, and this is our Scottish Highlands Explorer. We've had to add dates to this twice in the last couple of months because they've sold out. And at just $549, so that's 5-night stay in Inverness with 5 breakfasts and 2 dinners, and all of the excursions I'm just about to show you. As I say, you can go on booking.com and the hotel won't even be anywhere, it'll be around that price without anything else included. So do just take a quick look at this video as well. I really channeled my inner Game of Thrones when I made that one with the music. But it's a gorgeous trip. Travel, by ferry to the Isle of Skye, visit Brodie Castle, even that trip to the whiskey distillery. So much included. and as I say, represents some fantastic value as well. And still a few no single supplements available on some of those tours as well. So if you are interested in something like that, please do get in touch with the guys at Baldwins Travel, because as I say, you know, if you're just looking to get away this summer, it could be the tour for you, really. And finally, we also have an Irish Discovery tour as well. So if you are, say, looking to get away a little bit more, we also have Irish Discovery. I instantly nod my head and move around to that without even realizing I'm doing it sometimes. I enjoy the music so much. But yeah, so that's our complete, you know, Irish Discovery tour. I don't know why everything seems to be coming up twice, but there we go. So that's just an example of some of our UK tours as well. Now, our newest innovation is choice touring with Cosmos Globus. And as I said before, this is basically very unique in travel. I'm just going to show you a short video, and then I'll go a little bit more into it. So choice touring, as we said, 13 new itineraries, 7 in Europe and 6 in North America, and the tours that include a choice of up to 3 excursions on selected days. Now, I'd like to basically blend the UK tours with the choice and just show you a great example. So Scotland by Design, it's a 9-day tour, and on 4 different days, you have the opportunity to have your choice, essentially. In Edinburgh, you can have a walking tour of Edinburgh Newtown or tour the Royal Yacht Britannia. In Pitlochry, you can have a tour of Castle. It's not Menzies, it's Menace or something like that. I did look it up, but I'm still not sure of the pronunciation. Or you can have afternoon tea at Pitlochry Spa or 18 holes golf at Tummel Valley. Then over in Inverness, explore Calder Castle or a guided tour of Inverness, or a scenic cruiser bike ride along the coast. And finally in Oban, a historical tour of Oban or a trip to the distillery. I'll see you at the distillery. But it's a great kind of idea as well, but also it also includes all of these excursions as standard as well. And at 1709, with 7 breakfasts and 3 dinners included, represents some really, really good value. You see scenic drive through the Grampian Mountains and Cairngorm National Park, a trip around Dundee as well, guided walk through Pitlochry as well, a visit to St Andrews. Plenty of opportunity there, scenic cruise on Loch Lomond, all included. So that's our choice touring. And I say, I've got a couple others to show you that I'll whip through. We've got Switzerland and Lake Como by Design, where you get the opportunity to choose on 2 of the 3 days in Lake Como and 1 day in Lake Geneva. And it'll be a trip to the UNESCO World Heritage Site Laveau for a guided wine tour, or the Montreux Riviera for a walking tour and fondue lunch, or Swiss chocolate at, watch my pronunciation, Maison Caille Chocolaterie and then on to Gruyere. See, that GCSE French is really coming in handy now, isn't it? So yeah, and then like the second day you can have a walking tour of Milan and the Piazza Duomo, followed by an inside visit to the Duomo, or an hour boat cruise along Lake Como. It's perfect for perhaps couples that one like to do one thing, one like to do the other. They come together in for evening meal and that kind of thing. And then I say it also includes orientation tour of Zurich, guided walking tour of Bern, visit to Rhine Falls, etc. Everything I've put in here for Joyce is tour only. We can obviously add flights and transfers for everything with Cosmos. So I've only put the tour only prices in because as soon as you add flights, it fluctuates so much. But everything we have, we can add flights and transfers, no problem at all. And then finally, because we do a lot of stuff to the deep south in the USA in terms of like the music city kind of tours to Nashville and Memphis and all those kind of things. And we've got Boogie and Blues, which is the southern US by design. For some reason, I only chose tours that I don't know the pronunciations of. So we've got your choice excursions in Biloxi, Montgomery and Florence. In Biloxi, you've got a 2-hour kayak ride and a visit to the Pascagoula River Center, or a guided tour of the O'Keeffe Museum, or take out a Biloxi schooner for a 2.5-hour sailing along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Fantastic choices. Then in Montgomery, the National Memorial for Peace and Justice and the Legacy Museum, or a guided tour of Old Alabama, or visit the Hank Williams Museum if you're a bit more musical. I'd fancy the Hank Williams Museum there, to be fair. And then in Florence, visit to the Rosenbaum House and a guided tour of Frank Lloyd Wright, take a guided tour of Ivy Green, or tour the Florence, Alabama Music Enterprise. So if you've got, like I say, a couple, one's a little bit more musical and the other's a little bit more kind of historical, then we've got that kind of thing covered as well. And all of these things included as well. Some important ones in there, like local guides to the National Voting Rights Museum and Slavery Civil War Museums in Selma, all very kind of like topical right now. And as at just 1511, obviously you'd have to add flights, and it represents some great value once again. So that's our choice touring by Globus. There are 10 other tours available for that. If you'd like to know anything more about it, then let me know, or get in touch with the guys at Baldwins and they can get in touch with me and we'll go through anything that you'd like to know more about, really. I'd just like to take a moment now, because while we're in America, to focus on some of our spectacular national parks tours as well. You may have remembered, I mentioned once or twice already, no one does North America and Canada in terms of breadth of product more than us. And our national parks tours are a nice mix of sightseeing, but relaxation as well. Highlights of the Canyonland is very much our lead-in one in terms of best pricing. Takes you to the main one, Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon National Park, and Zion National Park. You'd even stay inside the Grand Canyon National Park, which gives you the most stunning sunrise over the canyon in the morning. And a real highlight of this one's a 4-wheel drive excursion through Monument Valley, and that would be with a Navajo guide as well, so you'd find out all about the local history of it. And that would be 1720 with flights included. And that's for an 8-day tour. So once America is kind of up and running again, then that's something to definitely kind of keep an eye out for. If you're looking for something a little bit more in depth, I know some people, if they're going to go to America, they want to go for make that journey, then they go for a longer time. Then we've got Exploring America's National Parks Tour, which is a 15-day epic, taking you through some of like America's most iconic scenery, all through like South Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado. Takes you to like Yellowstone National Park, see the famous Old Faithful, Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse Memorial, Salt Lake City, all of those. And it's a $2,649 per person with flights and transfers included on the 9th of May next year. We're doing a lot for 2022 simply because people are looking just for that, that buffer to make sure that everything's okay kind of when they go out there. And finally, we've got the panorama, best for panoramas on foot, and that's Yosemite Park, so our Golden West Adventure Tour. So this one, the reason I like it so much is that it's a nice blend of fantastic scenery, spectacular scenery like Big Sur State Park, hikes through Yosemite and the Grand Canyon, but it's nicely interspersed with Vegas, San Francisco, LA. So it's a tour that ticks off a lot of those kind of American icons as well. So do keep an eye out for that one. Nice 14-day tour available for just $2,565 for 2021 or $2,629 for 2022. As I say, that's with flights included as well. So To move away from some of the touring that we do, just to briefly talk, I know that some people, when it comes to touring, they just want the best tour and the best price and everything like that. But also some people are now becoming a little bit more conscious of that they want to be traveling with companies that are a little bit more sustainable in what they do. So I'll just basically just show you one quick slide that shows you that we donate to and are part of many initiatives here at Cosmos and Globus. And here's just some such examples. We even put them into environmental, social and economic kind of denominations that we look after, so many of them. But my favorite is probably the ocean cleanup. Basically a boat that dredges the Atlantic Ocean of plastic. And I just love that initiative so much. And you know, we're the more, you know, they're trying to fund another boat to go through some of the other oceans as well. And also landmine design is one that I like. It's committed to educating and giving jobs to women who live in poverty in Cambodia. They basically hand roll paper beads and craft them into jewelry to sell. So not to dwell too much on that, but that's just an example of that we are very kind of aware in terms of some of the stuff that we're doing in the communities that we visit, really. And I know that's a big deal for a lot of people, so it's important to get it in there. But Cosmos also, and I am getting towards the end now, guys, so do stick with me. I've got 5 slides left. So Cosmos have an extensive collection of some of the world's greatest train journeys on offer as well. I think during lockdown, I think it's pretty impossible not to stumble across a program with Michael Portillo or Chris Tarrant showcasing some of these fantastic trips. And, you know, Cosmos and Globus have got the lot. You know, we've got Scenic Switzerland here, which is the entire tour is on rails, or one of my favorites, the Canadian Train Odyssey. This is an epic 3-night journey from Toronto to Jasper National Park. And then you get to do the Rockies after it as well through Jasper and Banff. So it's just phenomenal tours. You know, we've got the once in a lifetime trip on the Rocky Mountaineer as well. Or sometimes they make up like a small part of a larger tour, like for example, the Bullet Train in Japan or the Flam Railway in Norway as well. And also, you know, an epic trip across Australia on the Indian Pacific, or even something a little bit more nostalgic with the historic trains of the Old West, you know, where it's like some of those old kind of American railroads and those kind of things. So, you know, we've got those covered as well. And you might not be aware of this, but normally, let's say what we're in May 2021, we wouldn't normally have 2022 availability till June, July. But I guess probably the only upside of the pandemic is that we've brought everything forward. So we've now got complete availability for all of 2022. And also into May 2023 for our Australia and New Zealand tours as well. So if you are looking to get something booked in to look forward to, then, you know, we can basically cover that as well, because we've got it all there available, ready for you to book. So, and if you do take one of our first class tours of Globus, you'll save up to 10%. If you go with Cosmos, it's £50 per person off on those tours as well. So in summary, nobody does more holidays to North America and Canada than us. 500 holidays to 76 worldwide destinations. And those 4 different touring concepts of Cosmos, Globus, Escapes, where it's in the off season, and Choice, where you can go golfing on the spa, etc., etc. Peace of mind. Anyone that books, I showcased a lot of UK tours there, which would obviously be going this summer. If you book a 2021 tour with us, you've got up until final payment date to change it to a different destination, holiday, different brand in our portfolio. You know, for example, we also have a sister company called Avalon Waterways. If you wanted to go from a UK tour to Scotland, but you don't want to do it anymore and you want to move that deposit to Avalon River Cruise in Germany, then absolutely you can do that too. There'll be no questions asked. All land and cruise penalties will be waived as well. And of course, your ATO and ABTA protected as standard. If your holiday is cancelled for any reason, you'll receive a full refund. We only put that in because I know there's some operators that really dragged their heels when everything happened in the pandemic. And we're very proud of the fact that no one had to wait longer than 2 weeks to get their money back from us. And I think that speaks volumes in terms of, you know, how important we feel the customers are. Now, I know you just got a sneak preview at this a minute ago, but I'll show you now. It's £75 per person off extra. So anything I've showed you today and anything that we've got available for the next 2 weeks with Baldwins, you're entitled to £75 per person off, and that's any Cosmos tour or product River Cruise in 2021 and 2022 that I've showed, like, not just that I've showed you here today, anything within our extensive range as well. So for joining today, you've got that extensive booking window as a thank you for coming along and listening to me today. And finally, that does it for me. I just want to say, I know we had a more intimate a gathering of people today, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I haven't been able to see your faces, so I hope when I click off in a minute, you're all still there and you haven't gone, and I've been talking for the last half an hour. But there's just a